And for today, we are going to talk about the material self, which is also known as economic self. Okay, so here are some guide questions to start our discussion. So allow me to read the first question. So if a miracle happened and the problem you have disappeared overnight, how would you know it was solved? And what would be different? Okay, that is a nice question actually. So this is a question that psychologists typically use. And you know what? A lot of people won't even think a lot in detail. Okay, and then they immediately say that perhaps when I wake up, I would have won the lottery, or I would have 5 million in the bank. O, bongga, di ba? So with that, all my problems would be solved. Oh, feeling natin pag marami tayong pera, lahat ng problem natin nasa solve, no? Okay, so I am not saying to you that that should be your goal, but rather I want you to know that there are a lot of people who try to pursue materialistic and financial desire, and they think na it will solve all their problems. But sometimes, even though you don't have financial problems, you desire for more because you think that it would bring happiness. Okay? Oo, yan yung alam natin eh, na kapag meron na tayong nung pera, kapag malaki ang kaperahan natin, saya-saya natin, feeling natin masosolve natin lahat ng problem. Okay, ako din feeling ko ganun. Pero feeling ko pala yun. Okay, so i-discuss pa natin. So, ayan. So my question is, does money bring happiness? Oh, say, ayun yung ano ko. 'Di ba? Siyempre, oo. Okay? For other might say yes. Ako yun. Isa ako dun. And some would say no. O, diba? What? Yung iba talaga sasabihin no. Oo, kasi gusto nila magkaroon sila ng love life. Kahit ng pera, love life na lang. Anes. Joke. Okay. So, sa question na ito, no, sa does money bring happiness? Let's get the perspective of the positive psychology. So, to bring that into our discussion, allow me to read the question. Ano po? So, this one. If you win the lottery, how happy would you be? Okay. Or ano natin yung tanong. So ganito na lang. So in the scale of 1 to 10. So 1 to 10 mamili kayo. How happy would you be if you won the lottery? Okay, so from 1 to 10, sa scale na 1 to 10, gaano ka kasaya kapag nanalo ka ng loto? Okay? Or any na ano dyan. Okay. So, perhaps of course, you would say 10. Siyempre naman, ako at 10, baka lampas 10 pa, 11 kung naksi ka. Okay. Yeah, but there's no problem with that, di ba? Siyempre, yun yung unang reaction natin eh. Okay, super saya. So, pag nag-scale tayo, of course, yung perfect score na 10. Okay? So, there's no problem with that. Ano po? Kasi that is a normal reaction or response natin to such situation. Alangan mo nga nangabak ka, bagada nga nangabak ka, tapos yung mukha mo, ang lungkot. Ay, mental hospital na yan, friend. Okay? Okay pa kung iyak ka eh, kasi maiyak ka sa tuwa. Okay? So, another question here is that, actually, hindi na ilagay. Okay? After you won the lottery, how happy would you be? Okay, so after mo nanalo ng loto, So, sa scale ulit na 1 to 10, gaano ka kasaya? Okay? So, of course, a lot of people will still say that their happiness will remain high. However po, the research in positive psychology and well-being would say that it's not as high as we predict. Okay? So why? Bakit? Bakit hindi ganun as high as we predict? Bakit kaya? Because eventually, we get used to that kind of happiness and hindi na yun bago sa atin. Okay? That's why yung level of happiness natin, nagde-decline yan. Kasi nasanay na tayo. Okay? So, hindi na yun bago. So, yung level of happiness natin, nag-decline na siya. It goes back to its normal level. So, what I am telling you is that you should not desire to be rich, or you should not desire to have a lot of money. But what I am saying, or yung point ko dito is that don't think na yung source lang ng happiness ay yun lang, yung kaperahan, mga materialistic things, mga ganon. Okay, bakit? Why? Okay, look at this question po. Okay, so we have more gadgets than previous generations. Do you think we are happier in comparison to them? So, do you want to have a new CP? Of course, yes. Okay, so compared to the previous generations po, we have more gadgets now. Before and yung ngayon. Okay. We have more gadgets now eh. Mas na-introduce tayo sa technology ngayon. Tignan mo mga bata, selfie-dan friend. Ilang taon pa lang yan. Actually, oo. Kasi yung first baby ko, doon ako nagkamali actually. So, based on my experience at as early as 5 months kasi, inintroduce ko yung anak ko sa cellphone, sa gadgets. Okay. Yeah. May lesson dito. I-share ko lang pero makakapulot kayo actually ng lesson dito para in the future kapag nagkaroon din kayo ng anak, alam nyo na kung ano din yung gagawin ninyo. Okay? So, ang nangyari kasi, as early as 5 months, yung point ko is that, or yung gusto ko as a mother, of course, gusto ko paglaki ng baby ko, ganito siya magaling siyang mag-English, mga ganun ba? Okay. So, ayun, inintroduce ko yung phone, yung nursery rhymes. Mga nursery rhymes. Okay. 5 months, as early as 5 months Okay. So, ang nangyari niyan, 1 year old, more than 1 year old na yung anak ko. Marami kaming, mga kapitbahay na may mga junakis, sinarno. Oo. Instead na maglaro siya sa labas, mas prefer niyang manood ng nursery rhymes. So, ngayon, medyo, yun sa part ko, doon ako nag-failed as a mother. Oo, kasi, pero sa kagustuhan ko lang kasi na, ayun, matutong yung mag-English pero nakalimutan ko, mas maganda pala talaga yung makisalamuha siya with other children. Kasi ang nangyayari, yun na, yung medyo loner na siya, mas prefer niya yung phone. Oo, yun yung disadvantage pala nun. Okay, so, in the future, kapag kayo magkaroon ng mga junakis, mas maganda yung expose nyo sila sa labas, maglaro ng kahit ano, kesa yung mag-cellphone. Kasi ngayon, ang laki ng problem ko as a mother dun sa first ko. So, yung second ko, hindi ko na siya gaanong pinapagamit ng phone. May time limit na sa second ko. Same as to sa first ko na ngayon, but then, it's very too late na kasi. Oo. And, yung way kasi ng pakipag-communicate ng first ko, hindi siya gaya ng mga bata na I'm not say basta. Okay. Oo, kasi ang hirap eh. Ang hirap yung imagine he is already 5-year-old but then yung way ng pakipag-communicate niya hindi clear. Okay? Hindi pa nga niya sasabihin na, "Mommy, kindly get this one. Mommy, pakikuha ito. Mommy, iihi ako." No. Wala. Gagawin niya lang yung, ako, ang hirap. Okay, so napalayo tayo sa talagang lesson natin. Pero shinare ko lang yun para if in case kapag kayo ay magkaroon ng mga junakis or kung may mga kapatid kayo, wag nyo silang i-expose sa gadgets. Mas maganda pa rin yung ito o yung makikipaglaro sila sa labas. Or if not, kung wala silang kalaro, kayo mismo. sorry. O kayo mismo makipaglaro sa kanila. Mas maganda yun. Okay? So, buti nga yun, mas ma-exercise pa yung bad sa question natin na do you want to have new cell phones, laptops, or any gadgets? So, compared to the previous generations, we have more gadgets now. Okay? We think na pag maraming gadgets, the happier we are. Okay? So if we are going to follow the yung line of reasoning natin, or we're going to say that perhaps yung generation natin ngayon is lot happier compared to yung sa earlier generations, because back then they don't have a cell phone, di ba? And right now I enjoy using my cell phone. Hence, they are not as happy as I am right now. But there's nothing wrong with that assumption, po? But guess what po? Coming from the positive psychology na naman, di ba? So it was discovered that we are not happier po in comparison to people back then, even with all the gadgets. Di ba? So, kung i-compare natin yung noon at ngayon, mas maganda daw talaga. Mas happy daw tayo noon kesa yung ngayon. Kahit meron tayong lots of gadgets, hindi daw tayo happy actually. Okay? So, some would even say din that yung level of happiness natin is lower. Lower. Mas lower yung level of happiness compared to them rather. Comparison. Okay, compared to them. Bakit? Okay, why? Because the more you acquire, the more you desire for greater things. Okay? And what we're talking about is called what? The materialism and consumerism. So materialism doesn't only exist with material things, but rather it may also exist in your desires. Let's say, for example, you desire to have a high grades. Okay, so it's not important if you learn nothing. It's not important if you did not really learn that much. Okay, so what's important? Yung importante lang sa iyo is to have a high grades. Di ba? Tabi-tabi po I am not generalizing actually, but based kasi sa experience ko and sa mga friends ko noon, and most especially sa mga students ko, na in-interview ko, they are not after nung knowledge or learning na ma-acquire nila, but they are after nung high grades. Okay, because having a high grades will make them happy, or make their parents happy or proud. Okay, but again and again and again na naman, coming from the perspective of psychology, it would make you happy at first. Diba? Sa una lang masaya. Parang kayo, sa una lang masaya. Pag tumagal, away dito, away doon, ay napalayo. Okay? So going back sa lesson, okay, having a high grade will make you happy at first, but eventually you'll get used to it. And what if you're a top student? Of course, your parents will get used to it then. Your parents will get used to your high performance. That if you lose or kapag nag-decline kayo sa performance ninyo, your parents will be unhappy. Okay? So, think about it po. You're performing well. Okay? You're just being unhappy because you're comparing your life to other people. Materialism. Okay? And materialism doesn't bring any happiness according to the study of well-being. Okay? So, yeah, by the way, when we say well-being kasi that is a psychological term for happiness. Okay? So, there are a lot of studies kasi that materialist individuals are less happy compared to non-materialism. What do I mean? Okay? So, people who aim, o yung mga tao po na aiming for non-material things such as fulfillment, helping others, then gratitude, they are happier. Okay? They are happier compared to those who think that they will be happy with the latest gadgets. They will be happy when they had a lot of money. That they are happy when their grades is high. So sometimes we think that if we have everything that we wish for in life, then we're going to be happy. Diba? To live happily ever after, parang fairy tale lang. Pero actually, no. Okay, so however po, ito. However, 5 years or 10 years from that change in your life, our happiness will go back to its normal level or yung nga may magde-decline. And that's the phenomenon known as hedonic adaptation. Okay, so when we say hedonic adaptation, this is a theory po positing that people repeatedly return to their baseline level of happiness regardless of what happens to them. So in short, yung level of happiness will go back to its normal, and or when you get used to things, okay, you're not as happy as you used to be because of materialistic desires. Diba? So hence we should not confine ourselves to materialistic desires. And we should not engage in a lot of social comparison. So the more social comparison you engage in, the more unhappy you become. So materialism does not make us happy, but rather it make us unsatisfied of what we had. Okay, so with materialism kasi, you tend to ask for more. Diba? Kung nga Shopee ako ng Shopee, sabi ko, okay, pag natapos ito, hindi na talaga ako o-order. Tapos, nag-ring yung phone ko, Shopee! Ay, color. Okay, so, materialism actually is close to what? Yung kanina, consumerism. Okay, so let me ask another question again. Ito, if you win the lottery, will you quit your job or walk? Okay, so kapag nanalo ka ba ng loto, mag-quit ka na ba or magre-resign ka na ba sa trabaho mo? Okay, so according to say psychologist na naman, oo naman. Okay, so according kasi to the study ng ano na ito kanina binanggit ko sa psychologist. Okay. Even though people daw win the lottery, they would still say that they would still be working. Bakit kaya? Okay. So, meron kasing iba dyan magsasabi ng kapag kahit meron akong pera, hindi sila nasasatisfied doon eh. Yung point nila is yung fulfillment at work. Okay, kaya kahit marami silang pera, hindi sila nagki-quit sa job kasi iba yung fulfillment na nafi-feel nila sa work nila. Okay, so in other words, we are not only motivated by money, but there are other things that we look for at work or in life. Okay? So, gaya nga nung, ay, ewan ko kung relate ba yun dito. Oo. Oo nga, no? Kasi yung may, sige, wag na. Hindi yata yun, ano. Okay. Okay, so ito na lang. Example ko na lang sarili ko. Okay, so ako as a teacher kasi, I am not only motivated, actually, to wait for yung monthly salary ko, say. But actually, we are working because of money, But there are a lot of teacher, of course, that is motivated or are motivated to wait or to wait. Yung salary talaga naisip ko, no? Oo. They are not after the salary, but they are motivated to continue to become a better teacher or to see their students succeed. Okay? So yung point ko is do not pursue the wrong source of happiness. Okay? And it's not something materialistic, but rather look for something that is fulfilling. Okay? Na ano nyo yun? Look for something that is fulfilling. Okay? So let me discuss now yung consumerism. Okay? So, when we say consumerism, may definition yan actually kay Google. Okay? So, consumers of course are often viewed, tayong mga consumers, we are often viewed as victims of greedy companies. So, if we think that the companies are the ones that are making us purchase their products and they are greedy, however, take note po that we also have free will. Learn not to patronize po yung mga greedy companies, okay, who try to make a living out of your materialism. Okay? So, try to be more critical of these companies. Ano po? Try to reflect first bago tayo bumili. Okay? That, kung kailangan mo ba ito or hindi. Okay? And, yeah, speaking of kailangan, yung need. Okay? Nabanggit ko kasi try to reflect first. Try to reflect first before buying something that you're not going to need. Okay, so dito na mag-e-entrada si wants and needs. Okay, so believe it or not po, everything that we see online, uninstall na ang Lazada at Shopee, okay, is considered, or should I say, most of the things that we see online is considered wants. Gusto natin. And hindi siya needs. Okay? So I want you to become aware that this is how needs differ with wants. Okay? So tingnan niyo yung images, yung picture. Okay? So alam ko na tackle na ninyo si Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, of course nung nasa high school pa kayo, pero may mga bagay lang talaga kasi na binabalikan and hindi yun maiiwasan. Isa na dito si Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. Okay? So according to Maslow's, next na natin agad yung slide. So according to Maslow's, there are 5 main levels to Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. Okay? And these levels begin from the most basic needs to the most advanced needs. So, Maslow's originally believed that a person needed to completely satisfy one level to begin pursuing further levels. Okay, so let's start with the first stage or level. Okay, so ano yung first stage natin? Yung nasa baba? Spaghetti pa. Okay, muulan. Okay, let's start with this. Physiological needs. Okay, so of course, physiological needs are the lowest kasi nasa baba siya, ano po. That is the lowest level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And ano-ano yung mga nandito? Ano ba itong physiological needs na ito? Okay? So they are the most essential things a person needs to what? To survive, of course. And that includes what? Yung need for shelter, water, food, warmth, rest, and health. Okay? Uh, what? I heard that word. What? Sex? Kasali doon? Yung sex? That is a psychosocial. Physiological needs. Hindi ko alam kung very controversial ba ito. Pero nabasa ko kasi, sa physiological needs, sex is included there. Okay. But then, ang hirap nga naman kasing i-justify. Okay, so hanggang dun na lang tayo. Huwag na nating isali si sex. Baka mas lalo tayong ma-issue, ano. Okay, so according kasi sa article na nabasa ko, included daw doon. Pero baka ag-debate tayo, friend, ha, anlatan, ano. Kaya hindi ko na binanggit yung kanina. Okay, so next. Ano yung next natin? And that is what? It's safety needs. Okay, so that is the second level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It consists what? Our safety needs. Okay, safety. So ano yung mga kailangan nga naman natin dito? Safety, security needs, ano pa? Okay, so that safety or yung security needs natin, it relate to a person's need kasi to feel safe and secure in their life and surroundings. Okay, so there are many examples of safety needs in modern society. So to find yung stability and security, of course, a person must consider their physical safety. Okay? And speaking of that kasi, sa amin kami na instructors ninyo, speaking of safety needs and security needs, meron kami niyan sa company na pinagtatrabahuan namin. Ito po, sa PLT College, okay? And that includes yung social security system, yung SSS, that after naming mag-retire sa work namin, may makukuha kami doon. Okay. Or in short kasi benefits ito yung sa safety needs. Mga benefits na makukuha namin after naming mag-retire sa work. Okay. Aside from that, sa health naman, kasi binanggit na natin yung health kanina, needs din kasi natin yun. Ano po? Okay. Sa health naman, andito naman yung tinatawag nating PhilHealth. Okay. Monthly kasi yon na nagbabayad kami. Okay, hindi lang sa public, kundi sa private din. Okay? Sa private din po. And then, ano pa ba yung mga SSS? Pag-ibig din. O diba, bongga binabayaran namin ang pag-ibig. Yun po. Mga safety needs namin yun na after naming mag-retire sa work, na-enjoy namin yun. Pero yung sa PhilHealth po yung sa PhilHealth kasi, once na na-hospital ka o na-admit ka sa hospital dahil may sakit ka, pwede mong gamitin yung PhilHealth. So, anong gamit ng PhilHealth? Malilesen kasi yung babayaran mo sa hospital. Yung bill ninyo sa hospital. Yeah, and that is very, very helpful. Super ganda. So, ayun. Okay? So, maganda yung mga ganyang benefits. Kasi, ang kwan lang natin kasi, kung malayo tayo Kung i-compare kasi natin yung benefits na makukuha natin sa public at private, of course, mas malaki pa din yung benefits na makukuha natin sa public. Okay? Mas malaki yung benefits natin sa public or mas madami compared to private. Kaya yung mga nasa private po, parang ako parang ako lang. Okay? Ang mga teachers kasi, they come and go. They come and go. Of course, we are working because of money. We are after the money. And also, yung benefits na nakukuha natin sa job natin. Okay, or sa company na pinagtatrabahuhan natin. That's why ang iba, mas okay po yung sahod actually. Pero ang iba kasi, they are after the benefits na makukuha nila. So, mas prefer pa din nilang pumasok sa public kesa sa private. Okay, so, ayun, napalayo tayo. Okay, so, the third level naman, sa third level tayo. Okay, so the third level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is what? Of course, the self-esteem, love and belonging po. Okay? Okay, the needs for love and belonging. Okay, so of course, humans are social creatures that crave interaction with others. Okay? So this level of the hierarchy po outlines yung need for friendship. What else? Intimacy, family, and of course, love. Okay? So humans have the need to give and of course receive love. Hindi yung give ka ng give, wala kang nare-receive na love. Okay? So aside from that nawala ako. Oo. Basta, sa love and belongingness. Okay, so humans have the need to give and receive love. Unay-unay ko data. Humans have the need to give and receive love. So, yung mga gusto nyo dyan na ayaw kayo, sabihin nyo yan, love and belonging needs. Okay, that according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, humans, and I am humans, and you are human too. Diba, kunam? You need to give love, and I will give my love to you, and I will receive your love. Kunam di jay, ana. Kahit kaayaw ka. Okay. So, kapag kasi daw ito ay na-deprive dito sa love and belonging needs natin, when love and belonging needs deprive, individuals may experience loneliness or depression. Okay, so pilitin nyo yung taong mahalin kayo para hindi kayo maging lonely or ma-depress. Joke lang. Okay, so that is according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. Kailangan din nating makipag-interact with others. Okay? Mingle, makipag-friends. Okay? Family, kanino pa? Ayun lang. So, kailangan nating magbigay at makareceive din ng pagmamahal. Hindi puro hate. Wala nang hate ha. Disyembre na ngayon, friend. Okay? So, next level, that is of course yung pang-apat. Kasi 5 yan ha. Bilang kayo friends. Madiunay makita di pinang-ugod ko. Bit lang. Green, tapno kita. Okay. The fourth level, that is of course STEAM needs. Okay, so yung STEAM needs natin are related to a person's need to gain recognition, status, and of course feel respected. So once someone has fulfilled their yung love and belonging needs natin, they seek of course to they seek to fulfill their esteem needs, and that is the fourth level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, esteem needs. Okay, the last but not the least, nga nakaluban self-actualization. So that is the fifth, of course, and final level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization. And that relates to the realization of what? Of an individual's full potential. Okay? So, yung need for self-actualization natin actually can manifest in different ways. Okay, so ano-ano ba yung mga ito? Okay, of course, obtaining skills, ano pa? Continued education, ano pa? Utilizing knowledge and talents. Ano pa ba? Pursuing life dreams. O, di ba? Self-actualization yan. And then, seeking happiness, of course. Materialism. Okay, so that ends our discussion for today, which entitled the material self. Okay, so wala na yata akong i-announce. Sasabihin ko na lang po if in case may reminders ako, message ko na lang po sa group chat natin. Okay, so have a nice day. That would be all, and I thank you.